to That Wrestling Podcast.
Hey, welcome to That Wrestling Podcast. The Good Bad Guys of Wrestling Podcast are back, talking all things of the week that was in professional wrestling. I'm Brian, Jason, Joe, and Kevin. We are all here, back again for the second show of 2024, and we are just over 2 weeks away from the Royal Rumble, and even less than that, under 2 weeks away from Jason and Kevin hopping aboard the Chris Jericho cruise. Guys, is the excitement building for the big cruise? Kevin, this is your first cruise at all.
Yeah.
So
you could say, Brian, it's Kevin's maiden voyage.
Yes.
I should have said that.
You should have said that.
Well, better said than what I just did.
Kev?
Yeah,
Hey.
how you feeling, Kev?
Hey.
Yeah, what's the... Are you like counting down the days? Are you still the million questions?
It is 2 weeks. At time of recording, in 2 weeks we will be in line.
Ahoy!
We need to board a ship.
We get on the boat Friday.
Yeah. 2 weeks from.
Friday airtime, recording's Thursday.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So it just seems like yesterday was like 50 days, 60 days, and I feel like then it went to 30. Now it's just about 2 weeks away. I'm very excited. I look forward to feeling. I just don't. I can't fathom seeing a huge boat and a lot of like area on it. Right. I've never been on a ship bigger than like a ferry.
Yeah.
So, like,
or so one with a wrestling ring in the middle of it.
Exactly.
So we're not going to Mackinac Island. What's going on?
No. So like, I think I'm just gonna be like I'm usually a smiley guy anyway. I feel like that first day is just gonna be like a lot of staring, drinking beers, cheersing.
So no different than any other day.
Probably a lot of two sweets while I'm wearing
oh yeah.
Guy
I just pictured Kevin talking to everybody like Nashville. He found someone with a wrestling shirt. Hey, let's be friends.
No,
Kevin's not going to shut up.
Fun story. So we were going through the list again, Laura and I was like, Laura, an ex-Survivor contestant is on the cruise, and she's like, no, who? I'm like, John Morrison was on what was it? 30
Austrian
or no,
Survivor?
41. He was on like around 35 to 40 season. So, and Laura's like, no, I don't see him. I'm like, his name's Johnny Cruz. I'm like he changes his last name. But she's just like, okay. She's like, that I have to hunt him down. She's like, I that's who I want one photo with. If she's gonna get it, it's with him. Awesome. So it would be exciting.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
The first time, like boarding the boat, Kevin, I think you guys are just going to be in awe because there's a giant staging area. Like you have to walk in, go through this staging process, and then you sit for a while before they start letting people on the boat. And then when you get on the boat, you can't get into your room for a couple hours. So it's literally you start drinking the moment you get on the boat. And I don't know if you guys remember this. Brian, mainly the first cruise, I got on the boat around noon. I had 8 beers drank before we took off at 4:00 when Fozzy was on stage.
I do remember that. Yeah, you were sending videos. I remember
videos and pictures.
Yeah.
So like, you're
excited. You can break that record, right?
God damn. This one though, it's this is probably going to be our last one. At least for a while, unless somehow the 4 of us can get on the boat next year. I'm not counting my chickens on that one. But the my wife's been a trooper. She's gone to this will be her 3rd. I think she wants some of her vacations now that don't involve live podcasts and karaoke till 4:00 in the morning with the Guns and Nyla Rose and but no, this one's going to be exciting. The talent roster isn't as deep as I would like, only because of Collision.
Right.
They're not doing live. They're not doing any TV tapings. Some of the matches have been announced. Some of the podcasts have been announced for Talk is Jericho, which is exciting. They're doing one about ECW because the Dudleys, Jerry Lynn, and Missy Hyatt are on the boat this year. They're also doing about cover bands and tribute bands because Foo's Fighters, the #1 Foo Fighter tribute band, they're on the boat this year, which I can't wait for that.
Fun.
A bunch of times. There was a guy, James Durbin. He was on American Idol, but he also was with Quiet Riot for a while.
Yeah,
as
the name
well.
rang a bell. Yeah.
And then, of course, Jericho has Quarantine, his Kiss cover band. And then Rich Ward has Guardians of the Jukebox, which, Kevin, I cannot wait until we're drunk at a Guardians of the Jukebox show, because it's visual too. They have like giant screens with 80s music video. Oh, it's unbelievable. So what's really good is I will have someone else to be in the video with me, finally.
Yes.
And, it'll be fun. And while all the stuff on the boat's cool, Kev and I and our wives are doing a dune buggy excursion in Mexico.
How cool is that?
We're not doing the Lucha show. My wife wasn't really down for that, but so that'll be kind of fun as well. So, as of recording 2 weeks away, yeah.
Either one of you have a GoPro?
No.
But that would be cool
I'm gonna get
for
a piece
the
of
dune
duct tape
buggy
and
because
Just tape your phone to your chest. Well, we have wives, so
Yeah.
they can.
Yeah.
Wow.
Why does she not want to go on the cruise again? I can't imagine why.
Yeah,
let me ask one quick question too, and if it's a watch and find out after the fact, has there been discussions about matching outfits?
No comment.
All right, okay. I should have expected that.
Well,
I
no
hope you come
comment.
through for us.
We have outfits.
Yeah.
Whether or not they match or not, you'll find out on the vlog after about a week.
All right. That's what I'm looking forward to the most, since me and Joe will be, hunkered down here in the Midwest.
And we will not be having matching outfits. And to clarify, they're talking about matching outfits for Jason and Kevin, not their wives. Because they're just there as arm candy. The real story is.
Although that would be fun.
All four of us are gonna match. We're all gonna be Sable with the handprints on the boobs.
Oh my god!
Or we could do Kevin and Michelle could match. Me and Laura could match. Like
a Freaky Friday thing.
Okay. And Kevin can point at you like Macho Man. You got eyes for Laura.
Yeah.
Lust in your eyes. Yeah. So 2 weeks away, me and Kev will be in Miami.
Yeah.
And then to Cozumel and beyond.
Back to Miami. Well, I'm excited just hearing about it just now. So it's going to be amazing for you guys to be on that. And yeah, like I said, me and Joe will be here, hopefully dealing with not sub-freezing temperatures, but at least we will have the Royal.
Yeah, I was just going to say,
at least we'll have the Royal Rumble to look forward to.
And that card's coming together.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, we had the puzzle pieces come together quite a bit on SmackDown on Friday. We got Kevin Owens. He wins the U.S. title tournament. He's going to face Logan Paul and Roman Reigns. It's going to be a fatal four-way with Randy, LA Knight, and AJ Styles. Joe, I will go to you first with those confirmed matches. Like, what's your excitement level for the Rumble here 2 weeks out?
Well, for the Rumbles in general, it's always a 10 out of 10. But like you're talking about, like the matches, which typically don't really matter too much because the Rumble is the selling point. But for this one, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10 for the matches.
Okay.
I'm excited. Well, I'm excited for Logan Paul whenever he's in a match because it's like ridiculous how quick he is and how natural it comes to him in the ring. It ticks me off a little bit, but since I'm so positive now, I'm just saying bravo to the guy. And Roman fatal four-way. And he's going to win, so we already know that's going to happen. But at least it will be it won't be a typical Roman Reigns match. I don't think his Uso-ference is going to be needed when there's three other guys who could cost the match for the tribal chief to end up victorious. So that makes me excited as well. So, and good for LA Knight being in another main event with Roman Reigns.
Bingo.
But will it be the main event?
Or will the Rumble will be the main event?
I don't know. I think it could be. I think
the four-way could be the main event because
I do too.
You could have the Rumble
Rock
winner
comes
do
out
the face
possibly sometime.
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe a post-match
to end. That's the only reason.
Yeah.
That's the only reason. That's the only way I can see the four-way end it.
Okay.
Is if Roman stands tall and you hear the Rock They stare at each other Monday night, boom, or
Well,
something.
last,
Or I guess it's
last year
technically
the women
SmackDown, but
started. Will the men
yeah.
start this year?
no.
I think keep it as is.
Okay.
If the women's storyline for challengers was as hot as Rhea coming in red hot last year, I think maybe like a 5% chance of headlining. I just feel like the women, I want to be pleasantly surprised when I watch it because I feel that the men's is going to be potentially one of the best ever.
Plus,
The
it's so
roster.
obvious
With
too
the roster,
women.
holy shit. Like the women's always has to pull a lot from the past. Like that's the biggest thing. Now the men's,
Michelle McCool going to be on.
Welcome back, Ivory. Yeah.
like the men's is loaded.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And the women is too, and
exactly.
it's so obvious that Chelsea Green's winning it, so it's all good.
Oh, look at that. Calling
I
your
would
shot.
like to, I can't wait for Hey Alexa to set the timer for 60 minutes and run the table on the Women's Royal Rumble.
She didn't hear you.
That's
What a
good.
bitch.
That's
What
good.
a bitch.
I did turn around.
But Jay, you have been Jay, you've been Logan Paul since day one.
Day one.
And I think when we did that WrestleMania card prediction thing, I was like, oh, look at him showing off the prime. Look at that. I was like, I think Kevin Owens, Logan Paul is a WrestleMania match. That's a great match. I think the stars can align for those two. Yeah.
You know, I think that this could be the beginning of a 3 or 4 month feud. What I would
agree
love to see Logan win at the Rumble,
mm-hmm.
and then just be Logan Paul. Is he's a SmackDown guy, right?
Yeah.
He is. Mm-hmm.
Is he? I thought he was the U.S. title, so it's SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
Nick Aldis isn't playing around. I would love for Logan to come out, run his mouth, and be like, "Okay, Logan, we're putting the U.S. title in a ladder match at WrestleMania.
Oh.
6 or 8 guys.
Yeah, that's fun.
Can you imagine the stuff he could do with the ladder and
throw
not
Adonis in there?
He wasn't he in a Money in the Bank?
No, he was. Aldis sat down with him saying he had Logan Paul.
Yeah, because Jay's talking about the ladder match. I said, wasn't Logan in Money in the Bank this past summer?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
Right,
Logan Paul in Money in the Bank this year?
Oh, Logan was in a Money in the Bank.
Was he?
Yeah.
But I'm not looking it up.
He got like
he was
mad because he was just like thrown in without a qualifying.
Yes.
That's right.
He was thrown in, and he was the only heel among pretty much every wrestler. Okay, so he was. So yeah, the point is a ladder match would suit him just fine.
I would like to see Logan Paul have to. I like this scenario, but I was thinking more along the lines of Elimination Chamber. Him inside the chamber.
Yeah, that's good. That's good too. Yeah.
Just make Elimination Chamber or Elimination Chamber matches. Like what?
Where are you getting this?
Huh?
You have 2 sources?
No, I'm saying
Elimination Chamber?
No, he's saying that's what he wants.
That's what I want.
Make it. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Nobody wants that.
Didn't TNA back in the day do like an all cage, like whatever they call Steel Asylum?
Lockdown, yeah.
Lockdown.
Yeah, every match. I don't know. I know we've also had some fun about the Pitch Black pay-per-view.
Oh, I want the Mountain Dew Pitch Black pay-per-view so bad.
3 hours.
Did you see Baja Blast, which was a Taco Bell exclusive, is now coming back into stores full
in stores. I saw it last week at Kroger.
I did not.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe we'll be getting some Pitch Black. We're almost at the 1 year anniversary of Pitch Black.
Baja Blast can sponsor SummerSlam.
Yeah, it's that time.
Yes,
yeah.
Let's do that.
It's shaping up really well. Another cool thing on SmackDown. Attacking the Street Profits and Bobby Lashley, Authors of Pain (AOP) with Paul Ellering. They've been in the rumor mill for a little while now, and they've joined forces with Karrion Kross and Scarlett. Jay, I know this made a big first impression for you.
I yelled at my TV. I thought it was
That's awesome.
I loved it because just the presentation. It was Cross, and then Scarlett, and then Ellering came out. I'm like, oh my God,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
It's happening.
I wasn't even thinking about the Authors of Pain, but obviously it was, then they attack from behind. But, the Authors of Pain have been signed for over a year.
That's kind of what I've
Haven't-
gathered. Yeah, they've just
So
haven't put them on.
they haven't, I haven't seen much on social. So obviously, if you're listening on Friday, SmackDown's tonight, and then hopefully there'll be some follow up to that. But I just hope they don't mess up the name. Give them a really badass name. I don't know what that is right now.
Well,
But-
what was the line that I know you posted this or our show posted this on the Twitter?
Oh,
What was the
hell is
line
em-
that was like,
Hell is
Corey
empty.
said that, I think, right?
Corey Graves said, he goes, hell is empty. And I was like, that's pretty
Good
amazing.
line. I've never heard that before.
But you can't make that the
No.
Yeah, not in the PG era, I wouldn't think.
so
Yeah.
overall.
Heck is empty.
Maybe just Doomsday.
Heck is empty.
Heck,
Hell
yeah, I
is
like that.
Gives the throwback to LOD
Oh, shucks.
with
Yeah.
Devastation
Doomsday device, or okay. Might be
Uh,
something there. Joe, what's your temperature on the AOP and this group coming together?
I like it. I knew something was up when Scarlett came out and she was brunette, which for some reason, whenever a blonde turns brunette, I'm like, way hotter. There's something about that. I don't know. Like Trish did it years ago. It's
Yes.
like,
Yeah.
way hotter. But when she was there and then Ellering came out, I'm like, it's happening. It's happening. He
Yeah.
gave a tease to it in his like vignette a week earlier when he said, I am the author who will bring the pain. I'm like, author's pain.
Oh,
He
I
did
didn't
tease
catch
it.
that.
I
didn't
caught that. I'm like, and I know they were signed. I'm gonna say I'm like an 8 out of 10 on this one for the simple fact that I gotta see what happens next, and they haven't made a decision on what they're doing with Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. Are they heels?
Oh, they're
Are they
good.
faces? What
Have
are
you-
they?
Have you seen what might be the name for those three?
What?
The Pride.
What for Lashley and the Street Profits?
Like a Pride Alliance, which I think is a group alliance is called a Pride, I believe.
Yeah, Group of Lions is a Pride.
So
Lions
I
Pride,
think
go
that's-
Lions.
There's something there. I like that.
I don't love it.
Yeah,
No.
don't love it.
I'm not a
What's
fan.
interesting- What's interesting is when Others of Pain got called up to the roster, we'll say 5 years ago, Ellering had one appearance with them and he was gone.
And they
Yeah,
ditched
they
him.
kicked him
They
out.
hooked them. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm glad to see they brought him back as the full package. And if I'm
Me too.
there, don't let them talk. They don't need to talk.
No.
They can, and when they beat people up, don't let them talk. They don't need to talk. Ellering can
No.
talk. Cross can talk. Let's,
They
I
don't
know
need to
that
sit inside of a dark room talking about their past for weeks on end like they did. Do you remember that when they were in their suits?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I
Don't do
forgot
that.
about that.
I like the
Yeah.
suit. I mean, suits are cool too, but yeah, this one, if you have an idea for what their name should be called, leave it in the comments below because we're coming up a little empty on that because
Yeah.
we didn't really put that as a talking point for tonight, but I'm just so glad that it happened. I literally yelled at my
To be honest, perfect timing, in my opinion. 2 weeks away from Royal Rumble, limited TV time to get them together. What, 2 more SmackDowns? At one point in the Rumble, prediction, it's not even prediction, it only makes sense. Have all 3 of them in the ring, just beating the shit out of people. That's
Yeah,
because
that's
Karrion
a good way to get him
or
going.
Jack too. Like he looks, he looks,
crazy.
and he looks meaner with the long hair. Like there's something about it. Like he looked,
I like the
good.
bald.
I like the bald look.
I think the bald look was better. I think you're
Yeah.
one of the few that
Well,
prefer
I'm
the
saying
long hair.
longer hair versus the very short.
Where's the short? Just
Yeah.
short. Yeah, you're right. Short hair
That's-
of something isn't enough. I think
And,
you know.
and no
I
gladiator mask.
No, yeah. Oh my God.
Oh,
Never
it's not.
forget when he got released and somebody tweeted him saying, like, can I have that gladiator mask? And he went, no one wants that piece of shit, brother. God bless Cross. And I think too, though, I think this is important for him and for Scarlett. You know, I don't think their return has gone as well as they probably hoped. You know, they've had a couple of feuds here and there that have been fine, but
It started good with going after Drew. Well, it started good because they went after Roman.
Yeah, the very first night. And yeah, him and Drew had a fun thing, right? And him and AJ Styles had a fun thing. There's been some good things.
But then
maybe this is what's going to take to get them to be a real established main player. Because I feel like he's been kind of up and down, up and down.
Too many stops and starts, or starts and stops.
Yes, bingo. Bingo. Yeah. Let's get on to Monday Night Raw. A couple things of note. Kicked off with a promo, Drew McIntyre and CM Punk. Drew getting to vent to Punk about his problems with him. Punk wasn't a locker room leader when he needed to, before he got released. Punk has got a good line too. He said that he's not a demon, but when pushed, he's Satan himself. I thought that was a good one. We've talked. Yeah. It'd be better than what's happening, I would say, on AEW television.
Ouch.
But I love this. We've said how much we've enjoyed the last couple months of Drew McIntyre and his character, and I thought he more than held his own against CM Punk on the mic.
Common Sense Drew is the best Drew.
Common Sense Drew. Now that's a nickname. I don't know if you can sell many T-shirts with that, but it's goddamn true.
Common Sense Drew is the best Drew.
What's your motivation? I talk common sense.
Tell it like it is.
Tell it like it is. I give it to you straight.
I see something, I say something. I was hoping for a spit take there. Come on.
Close.
He's just a common sense. Redo the Dusty song. I thought the interaction was fantastic. I thought when Drew was like, "You called yourself a leader." Flash forward 30 seconds, CM Punk's like, "I never called myself a leader. I led by example." Right? It was just really nice how Punk laid like on the ropes, and then he started talking. Then Drew started laying on the ropes. Got a big pop from the crowd. But the best part about that whole entire thing was no words. It's when CM Punk basically looks right at Drew's man boobs, like because
they're called. See, Kevin, for us, that's what they're called, but for him, they're called pecs.
Yeah, I mean, it just showed how much bigger face to face Drew is, and sometimes when he's a few feet away, boom.
Well, did you see the clip I sent you guys? Somebody put like the match is finally gonna happen, and it was like CM Punk versus Kevin Nash because Drew just has like the hair. He has like the Kevin Nash look.
The Just for Men really black.
Yeah, and he's a monster like Kevin Nash. I thought that was really well done because Drew's a monster. CM Punk is. You guys have seen the picture of me and him outside of Comerica Park. He probably got about an inch on me. At the time, he probably outweighed me by 40 pounds. We're probably close to even now. Time does that to you. So, but anyway, Drew's a effing monster. He's a common sense monster, and CM Punk's just regular dude. It's a big difference, and you saw it right there.
Yeah, it was good. It was what we need. They're not oversaturating Punk on television right now, which is good. Right. It was what is needed. So we now have a Punk Drew situation. We have a Punk Seth situation. I can't wait to see who, this was kind of like when MJF had like 5 different people going after him at AEW. Like, this is the stuff we need. Like, it doesn't need to be blinders one-on-one. It could be a variety of people coming to attack. Like in the 80s and 90s when like the Bobby Heenan family had 17 members all going after Hulk Hogan.
Yep.
I love this. This
is perfect for the Rumble too, because it can set up all these little mini interactions.
And it doesn't make it as obvious because any one of those guys can win and go after the champion. So that's what makes it. This was something we talked about a few weeks ago. It's like, oh, what a bad problem to have that you have so many main event caliber stars on the roster, on both rosters. But more, I feel like more likely on Raw. And Kevin, I'm glad you brought up the whole the face to face or the face to pec thing, because that made me laugh.
Face to man boob.
No, that would be if he was facing us. But I'm more along the lines of lost common sense reality when he said, "I'm gonna knock your teeth out." It's like, no, you're not. Are you kidding me? Drew would kill you just like that
I did
with
like
that
it.
size differential. But suspension of disbelief. Did anyone feel? Because I heard this on Busted Open this week. Bully Ray mentioned it. And I kind of agreed with him. Did you feel like Drew kind of lost the crowd a little bit, where when he was talking about how he was lost with his common sense, and it made it seem a little whiny instead of more along the lines of bitter? Like the
So,
bitterness is what works, but when he goes off the line, the way of sounding a little bit whiny, the crowd kind of deflated a little bit.
was Bully Ray talking about that under the like pretense of like Drew's a heel?
No, he was
Drew's a
talking about
bad
the
guy.
pretense of I
Okay.
needed a leader, I needed this, and you made it sound like it was like all the things that happened to you were
Okay.
due to Punk not holding your hand, saying
That
it
might
would
have
be
been
okay.
that might have been cheap heat. I was thinking of that.
That's what he was
They
saying.
talked
I'm like, I
about.
didn't think about that, but the crowd did seem a little bit like go a little bit down when it
Okay.
went a little long.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't pick up on that in the moment, but I guess common sense Drew's a complicated character,
He
right?
is.
Mhm.
He's not good, he's not bad, he's common sense. We've established this now.
We can't ask him to
So I
open up
get
these
it.
can of worms and not talk about real emotions.
Yeah, big go.
But he didn't
Yeah.
have the common sense, and CM Punk threw it out because he was in Piper country, right? To wear the kilt.
No, you're right. He said he was disappointed that he
That
didn't,
was a good
didn't
way to
wear it.
start it.
That
And
would
I
have
thought
got a
the end
pop.
was very strong when he said, "I don't care if it's Seth last, Cody." He threw out Cody's name, and he said, "But Drew, I'll keep you for last and throw you last over the rope."
Yeah.
And like it
I
it makes
like
me
you,
even
so
more
I'll throw
excited
you
for the
out
Royal
last.
Rumble.
Does
It leaves a
anyone
lot of
know what
questions.
that's from?
Huh?
Does anyone remember what that line is from? An 80s action movie. I like you, I'll kill you last.
The Last Action Hero.
Close, it's a Schwarzenegger movie. It was from
Okay.
Commando.
Oh,
Commando.
It was from
Commando.
Shout out
Commando.
to
He went to the
Commando.
one guy and said, I like you, Tully. That's why I'm going to kill you last. And he killed him second. And he was holding him over the cliff. He's like, you said you liked me. You said you'd kill me last. I lied. And then dropped him. I want to see that in the Rumble. I want to see it's like, you said you'd throw me out last. I lied.
Oh my god. Every idea is recycled, even Commando from about 40 years ago. Guys, what can you even say about our
I know where you're going.
I mean, I don't.
No, this
What?
Just say the
this
truth.
is terrible. He is
Come on.
ruining the Judgment Day.
I love it.
This is trash. R-Truth might be the greatest guy in the world. I actually believe that he is, from what I've been told. This is horrible. Like, they should have brought Eugene back for this. Or Santino. Or Bastion Booger. Or the
Knuckleball Schwartz.
Games. The guys that ran with ICP and Kurgan.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
oddities.
The oddities.
Yeah.
Oh, John
Everybody
Tenta.
come see the
Judgment Day.
greatest
No.
show.
This is so bad. And whatever that video montage was, as soon as it started, I turned it off. I watched Big Bang Theory for 7 minutes.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
No, it's
Truth's been
not.
in.
This
Truth
whole
been,
thing has been unfortunate. This whole situation, keep their best faction on Monday nights is ruined.
I love it.
I love
I
it.
love it.
I love it. I'm
think,
entertained by it, and that's what it's supposed to be for.
to your point, Jay, I think the only redeeming thing maybe that would get you on our side is like eventually it is just a savage beatdown of R-Truth to bring them back to being the we run Monday Night Raw, we're the top heels. Because, I mean, Truth's doing his thing, and you got even Priest going. Guys, that was kind of funny, you know? Like, that's a shoot, brother.
We don't want funny Damian Priest. We just,
Jason, we say it at the end of every single episode.
No, I'm not enjoying
Live,
it.
laugh.
The shirts are out. I
Yes,
saw
they
that they already got the
are.
shirts out. They don't have JD on the shirt. It's doing it's Dom and
You mean Tom and Nick?
Tom and Nick.
I haven't met Nick
What a
yet,
line! What a line!
Oh man.
Come on!
No. This needs to stop.
I
Did
Right
you?
now.
This is just a more ridiculous Sami Zayn and the Bloodline thing that works so well.
It is. It's
That
a
was-
different level of wackiness.
And if anything,
the same concept.
what this is going to do is
Ruin the Judgment Day. It's already
or
done
get
that.
get JD over a little bit because he's the one who keeps being called out and it's being forgotten about. It's making them the Judgment Day right now. They're still the dominant force on Monday Night Raw, but the problem is they're getting cheered. But not all of them.
They
Rhea's
put
getting
the
cheered,
ultimate good guy with them.
right? But
Like
Tom
those
and Nick,
cheers.
Dominic and JD are getting booed no matter what. So they're in a bad place right now with the Judgment Day because you can't turn them face because Dominic will never get that. But you can't keep them heel because you got guys like Finn, Damian, and Rhea getting the respect cheers. So you got to do something to distract that. So you still have a heel portion of it, and the heel portion is focused on Dominic and JD, while the main event of Judgment Day can do whatever they want and still run the show. All R-Truth is doing is keeping the heel part alive because people are cheering them now.
Joe, I think you're cool. No, just
No,
kidding. You suck.
I'm sorry that I made common sense. Joe doesn't
not.
get any respect.
Common Sense Joe is not as fun as Common Sense Drew.
Joe, you're just spitting the R-Truth. That's it.
Yeah. Well, I'm entertained by it.
I love it.
watched that video a couple times, and it's only 2 minutes.
Exactly. It's not very long. But there's going to be maybe it'll all come to a head at the Rumble. Maybe JD will fight R-Truth. Damian gets involved somehow. There's a lot of faction stuff that could be in the Rumble. So who knows?
They
We'll
already
see.
gave him a beatdown, and he thought it was just initiation.
Well,
So that's
there's
not going to
well,
work.
that's the best.
Much-
You guys see on social media is like, was it Finn, Rhea, and I think Damian Priest eating lunch, and it's like, oh, the Judgment Day, all eating, and then you see R-Truth in the background of them
Yeah.
eating lunch at like a mall food court or something. It's
Or hanging out behind a door, like
yeah.
I don't know how you guys like this.
It's just too funny
it's
because
silly,
truth is a
stupid
treasure.
fun. It's
Yeah.
R-Truth.
Truth is
Yeah.
great. He's ruining the Judgment Day.
How old is R-Truth?
I'm going
We
to
always
say,
this. He like
some
60
advice
now.
we always say. Let it play out. Let's let
Just
it
enjoy
play out.
wrestling.
We all knew during
Live,
the
laugh,
whole
love.
we knew during the bloodline Sammy thing we're like eventually it's gonna come around that Sammy's gonna have to get his ass
So
kicked.
what?
Of course.
Our Truth is going to become like a serious ass kicker.
No.
I don't
what's gonna
think
happen?
so. I don't think so. But
What's the
I
point?
don't know where the landing's gonna come yet. So that's why I'm just kind of
much-
curious. But
Much like the R-Truth Judgment Day storyline has gone on way too long, so has our conversation been about this. Can we talk about
All right.
Seth and Jinder Mahal,
Yeah.
one of the greatest 50 WWE champions of all time, is getting a shot on Monday against Seth Rollins. That was an amazing promo between both of them, back and forth, and we're going to get a 5-star classic on Monday. I love it.
Joe, Kevin, anything to add about the setup? Because there's a whole other piece of this Jinder that we have to talk about.
I know you're going to
Or you want me to get right into it? Or
No, let's just say
your
like the
piece.
other part. Let's say the piece, Kevin. Excitement scale for Jinder finally being back on Raw. Not only back on Raw, but being treated as a big deal.
I think unexpected. That my level of excitement when he was like the appetizer to The Rock coming out is kind of the dud, right? But he spit fire on that mic. I think give him he well deserved. My excitement level for next week, I'll say 9.9 because I want to see if he can bring it into the ring with Seth. If he brings it to Seth, shit, let it end controversial ending. Rematch it at Rumble. It's only 2 weeks away, and then you get Seth in a big match too. Uh-oh.
This guy has lost every match he's been in a year, and he's gonna get a title match? Who books that shit? Huh? That wouldn't happen in AEW.
What would
Any-
happen?
Anybody,
I gotta
anybody,
go.
anybody who has held the top championship pretty much should be able to get a title shot.
Okay.
I mean, let's just be realistic. That is what should happen. And Jinder,
Okay.
it'd be one thing if he was just
So
there
David
for the
Arquette
teaser.
can come in at any time.
No, I said top championship. That is a dead brand, so that doesn't count.
Okay.
We're talking about the WWE Championship. He held it. He held it for a long time. Whether you agree that he had a good run or not, that doesn't matter. He still
You can't
held it.
wait for Bob Backlund to show up and
Yeah.
Tribal Chief.
Right. Yes.
He-
But the
he's playing
point
it
is,
down.
the point I'm trying to make here is I'm glad it's happening because he could have been forgotten about, like you said, Kevin, and just swept back under the rug after the Rock thing because that was just supposed to be a heel magnet, a heat magnet, but it turned into they brought him back the next week. So okay, let's see where it goes. And it's on a Raw. It's not a premium live event. Let him have a match. Let him go 15-20. Seth's gonna win clean, but give Jinder a time to showcase. Why not? Maybe he can have a good 2024.
Yeah. Yeah.
20 to 24-minute match, at least with Seth. There's still a long year left.
Sure. All of the
Hater.
above.
We'll
Don't
see.
win
Don't go there. I know what you're saying. Yeah, I thought he was good this week against Seth.
Yeah.
Honestly, I like the promo. I like the confrontation. The matches. We'll see how it plays out. But the bigger story, the talk of the wrestling world, I guess. So it started. This is how it started, which I think is an important piece of the story. Raj Giri, who I follow on Twitter, I think he used to own WrestlingInc.com, wrestling news site, pointed out that Jinder and Seth were the main event of the very first NXT championship. It was for the title for the very first time. So when he sees this match that gets set up, he puts they've got history. How cool is that? And the USA Network Twitter follows that with what was the cage match rating or what will it be? A funny enough joke. That's something that Tony Khan has cited for AEW has good shows. Look at the cage match rating. I can't even say it without laughing. So Tony must see this, and he decides to go on Twitter, and he puts a double standard. Hook, 28-1 career record, winning streak, calls out the champ, a logical challenge, sparks online outrage. Jinder has literally lost every single match he's in for the past year, as Tony Khan pointed out, immediately gets a title shot. Where is the rage? AEW Dynamite tomorrow on TBS. Yeah, it's. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say.
You didn't mention the best part. Jinder's response.
Well, yes, yeah. I'm dead dumbfounded that he even does this. I don't know, guys. There's one thing to say, put the phone down, Tony Khan. But for me, I didn't even see any sort of outrage about Hook versus Samoa Joe. What the fuck? I feel like he's butting into a conversation that he wasn't invited to, first of all, and is under false pretense. In my opinion, I didn't see anything of the sort of Hook challenging Samoa Joe. What the hell? So that's, I guess, where I started when I saw this all came out.
Brian, do you have any other opinions?
Tony Khan's a bitch ass motherfucker.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we could always go back to that. Yes.
Yeah. So I think it's cool that Hook is challenging Joe. Now, hear me out. He's 28-1, which is more than reason for calling out the champ.
Mm-hmm.
But what's interesting is I didn't see any outrage either. However, if there's going to be outrage, how about an outrage of them constantly promoting he's the FTW champ, but then saying that the FTW championship is not acknowledged in AEW? It doesn't make sense.
No.
Jinder Mahal is one of the greatest 50 WWE champions of all time. So, like, I just feel like Tony just did something. Like, was he bored? Did Fulham not have a game that night?
Jags are out of the playoffs.
The Jags
Shout
are
out to
the
the
playoffs.
Titans. Thank you for helping our Steelers make the playoffs. Shout out to the Titans.
See, this is where Tony needs a burner account of a fake account so he can get off all this craziness and call himself Coney Tan or whatever,
No,
and just basically,
funny you say that, Joe.
hey, look who's here.
My Twitter account, Tonyton XXX, gets hit up all the time. People thinking that it's Tony Khan's burner, which is weird because Tony Khan doesn't need a burner. Tony Khan is the greatest tweeter in the history of Twitter. He can do no wrong. And look, some nerd that runs the USA Network's Twitter account thought he was funny, and TK put him in his place. So anyone over at USA, you need a better HR department because you're putting these little kids running Twitter, and you don't want to mess with billionaires like TK. And stop tweeting me thinking I'm Tony Khan. I'm Tony Khan, and I gotta go. Bye.
Do you know what? I'm gonna see if there's a Twitter available. Tony Khan Man, and just make it all
Tony Coke Man.
no Con Man. Like he's a con man. He thinks.
Yes. We
got it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we get it. It's not as funny when you have to explain it, Kevin.
Sounds like a TWP extra for me.
2 plus 2 equals 4. And
All right,
and
here's
who
what I
deserves
heard.
the title shot.
Here's on Twitter. There's Tony Khan. Then there's Tony Khan on Coke.
Oh,
Tony Khan on
Then
Coke.
there's
Is it him
Tony-
sitting on?
Tony Khan H. Tony Khan 69. Tony Khan ALT. French Tony Khan.
Bonjour,
Does he have
Dynamite is
one
tomorrow.
Bonjour, Hook, El Champion.
It is in French too. Okay. Yeah, so those are the only Tony Khan ones. No Tony Khan Man, Kevin. Feel free to make that.
All right, Kev.
There
you go. That's your opening.
Got it.
hey, Kevin, what's the con man stand for again? I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
Hey, Joe, you're cool. Just kidding. You fucking suck.
That was good.
Oh, wait. Where's
That was the real thing.
Oh, if you have to look for it, it's
I
not
think
funny.
you're cool. No, just kidding. You suck.
one more thing, Joe?
I bet you can't get a boner.
And no love for Donald Trump. I hit them both at the same time.
What are these
And
guys?
then-
Joe's gonna stand up and be like, "I can."
We and
No, I won't.
all right. That's a TWP after dark. So yeah, Tony puts this out. Jinder, what did he
TWP
tweet? Something
snowball
just like,
chance in hell.
who,
Fuck is a hook.
yeah, who's Hook? Or
What's a hook?
whatever. What's a hook? So Jinder had his little jab. He had to take it down. Apparently that's not up anymore.
Pat-
So
Taz responded too.
what did he say? I'm sure obviously he defended Hook
It's-
or whatever.
It's Hook. Capital H, capital O, capital O.
Okay. So that's that's proud dad right there. That's awesome. And then I mean we don't need to get more into it, but then Eric Bischoff got into it. So Tony and Eric Bischoff are going off about it, and I saw all kinds of just
Tony called Eric like a has-been wannabe something. And Bischoff's response was literally Bischoff on AEW, which was
Right.
an amazing response.
Right.
that was like like wrestling legend or whatever. So it was like, oh, I'm a has-been wrestling legend or whatever. Like he used his own caption
Wasn't
against it. It's
Bischoff's response just the clown emoji?
yeah, to Tony's tweet. Yeah.
And Dak responded to that. Did you see that?
No,
His response was the video. He said, "You don't say," and it was the video from Nitro where where Bischoff challenged McMahon.
Oh, okay. I did see that. Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't know. There's a level of entertainment with all of this, but I think if I had to weigh them both, it'd be like, hey, Tony, just don't tweet. Just you don't need to talk about what's
Pay
going on with
somebody to
gender.
tweet for you, Tony Khan.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. So
And if you feel the need to,
I'm available, Tony. If you're watching,
Cody's up for the job.
I can do
Cody's
it.
up for the job.
Tony Tom, I gotta go.
get a fake account.
I don't know. I mean, I will say though, like there's the adage of like, no press or there's no such thing as bad press, right? Is that maybe it's Tony Khan playing chess, not checkers, right? Like I'm gonna get people talking about Hook and Samoa Joe
Does this make you want to see the match?
of Hook and Samoa Joe.
Not
More?
us because we're gonna watch. No,
See it.
not
Yeah.
us because we're gonna watch it anyway.
Yeah.
Does this make people want to see the match, or is it just basically nothing?
Yeah. It made me more interested in Jinder and Seth.
Yeah.
That's not the intended result, I'm sure, that he wanted, but just because he brought this whole thing up that I'm like, hey, Jinder was pretty damn good. So I don't know. I mean, Hook's never done it for me. I'm like you said, we'll still watch Joe, but I
We
don't
were
know.
going to anyway, but we'll just put new eyes on either match.
I guess
Kevin,
we'll
can we
find
get
out.
can we get a
Breaking news.
I didn't do very well, but
Oh, that's good.
thanks. I'm
The
here all
Cle-
night.
Browns stadium crew has been told to be ready in case the Steelers Bills game might have to move to Cleveland.
I heard that. Yeah, they're supposed to get some big
Yeah.
lake effect snow, and yeah.
Can't use Detroit Bills.
Yeah, can't do it
I
this time.
know,
We
you
actually
guys
got
are
a game.
busy. You guys have had the Vikings play and the Bills
We're
play.
usually the go-to for the
Right. Sorry, building's closed.
get that
It's
championship title
occupied.
ready, Kevin.
It's booked.
Man, I dream. I guys, I'm telling you, if we even make it to the NFC Championship game, I will videotape myself crying. I already can feel a tear coming in my
With
eye.
a tear in my eye. It's a
Okay, so this is
Flair at the
another one
Rumble
of those.
92.
That's nice and all, but who's been clamoring to see that?
Man, just
I
about
believe
as
you.
much as people want to see Samoa Joe and Hook.
And that's about it for this week's That Football podcast.
Yes. First
Oh,
down.
I don't even know where we are in the rundown.
All right, let's get on to two other AAW notes before we call it a night. Adam Copeland. I thought this was interesting. I saw a little discourse on this online. He
That's
had
a great
his
year at AEW.
fair enough. He had his win of the TNT title at World's End, but then immediately lost it again. So Collision this past Saturday, he did an open challenge, and it was answered by Griff Garrison. He's a guy that, in the opposite world, Triple H would go, why the hell is a legend Adam Copeland Edge fighting a guy without a win in a year? Griff Garrison. Lexus King rules anyway.
Why is Triple H doing the Macho Man?
Yeah, why is he sound like Macho
He's
Man?
typing. He's typing.
Oh, he's typing.
That's
Okay.
typing it out the tweet.
Gotcha.
So that's my question, guys. If that's the route we're going, we're doing this open challenge. It's a concept for him and the young talent. Are you down for that, or are you wanting for something a little more, I guess, like a personal feud, if you will?
Well, I find it interesting that, AEW they got their own time machine and they went back to 1999 Edge and brought him to face Adam Copeland.
Oh God. Well said.
Dave?
Well said. Yeah, that's great.
I thought it'd be a better response, but fuck you guys. So I was watching it and I was just like, an open challenge. And then on Dynamite, he's in an 8-man tag.
That's what got me.
Like, can we just go? Is his contract up yet?
So they took the Hall of Famer. And
New
what
Japan,
they're saying is they turned him into a guy.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Is
mean
that
like
what you're
Keith
worried
Lee?
about? Yeah.
No,
You're
I'm not worried
about-
about it because he said he was signing there just to have fun, and if he's having fun, so what? But like the 8-man tag, I'm like, oh man, he's just a guy now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I wore when we were in Tennessee. This is one of the best Edge memories. And I think of that match against Sheamus. It's he's second.
Well, that was the end of Edge.
Correct. Yes. I would say Edge is still one of my favorite. Adam Copeland, right? Edge, one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. I feel that on Busted Open, he said he wanted to give the younger talent opportunities because people like Backlund helped him. Bret Hart, a lot of Hall of Famers helped him when he was up and coming. So he wanted to do the open challenge for the young talent. And what they go like 6 minutes, I think.
Yeah,
just
I
about
think 5 or 6 minutes. Yeah.
And got some good moves in against Copeland. I don't know. I hope they figure something out because I feel that when Brian Danielson or Brian Danielson, I always think about
You
it.
always gotta say Daniel Bryanson.
But sometimes on there it was kind of rough, and then he kind of got his footing. I hope Edge Adam Copeland can find
Oh shit.
footing,
Where is
but
it?
it's Tony's got to figure that out because I feel like he's the type of guy who's not going to insert himself pushing for something to happen. That's the biggest thing. He doesn't seem like the most aggressive guy saying gimme, gimme, gimme. So right now it's not up to the level of John Cena Open Challenge.
You know when we get the best Adam Copeland?
When I say his name right?
He joins up with Christian and turns heel.
Yeah.
That's going to get great Adam Copeland.
Yeah. I think
Because right now
good.
this just reeks of Bret Hart and WCW when he came over.
It doesn't reek of awesomeness.
No, it reeks of Bret Hart 98 WCW. He's just a guy.
I think it's too soon. I like the concept. I don't like the timing. He just got there, 3 months ago. And I get it. I think in interviews he's like, maybe I got 2 more years left. So it's not something you can plan for so long, but it's like, they had the right idea. They went right for the Christian angle, right when he started. Perfect. That's exactly what you should do. I don't know if this is the right next step. Not. I'll give it a little time, but I'm not feeling it just yet. Sting and Darby, they were part of that 8-man tag, and Dynamite ends with Shivani saying, "Sting, what is your last opponent?" And we get the return of the Young Bucks. Guys, what do you think of the choice?
The main event was trash. Why is Ric Flair getting in the ring? Why is Sting doing these, whatever that move's called, off the stage into tables?
Yeah,
no, there's no reason
out as well.
No reason for this. I do enjoy the stare down with the Young Bucks. I think that's cool. Nobody saw that coming when they announced.
No.
My fear is they're gonna put Ric Flair into this match somehow, and that's just gonna ruin the whole situation for me. But I liked the Young Bucks the way they were dressed. I liked their mustache. I just think this
They did have a mustache.
way to do this. It's about a month and a half build now, a 5-week build.
Yeah,
Let's do it. I am here for it. I'm glad the Bucks are back.
Thumbs up from Jay. Joe?
I'm fine with it because I'm glad it's not a single match. I'm glad Darby's involved, and I'm glad it wasn't one-on-one with Darby because that wouldn't do anything for Darby, win or lose. So I'm glad it's a tag match for the last one. And I thought it was ironic that his first WrestleMania match was against an executive, and his final match is against executives. So it's like Sting is a total corporate performer.
He's anti-corporate.
Yeah, he still goes against
the
Sting just now reminds me of those stand-up comics who only play corporate events now. Like they're they're legends who get paid a ton of money to just play for the corporate crowds. That's what Sting is, and you know what? It's good if you can take it. But I'm looking forward to it.
stand-up comedians. Why did the walrus go to the beach? Because he was looking for a tight seal.
I like it. I like it. I like it. Any good walrus jokes are okay with my book.
Joe, you suck.
Kev, what's your thoughts? It's the Sting's last match, and it's the Young Bucks.
I'll take it.
Okay.
I'll take it just for the fact where name recognition, and as Joe said, the tag match, so Sting can get in there, do his hits. He can still go. He's just not as fast, right? Darby is human crazy, man. The Bucks can wrestle at a very competitive speed, so it'll be very nice to, you know what I mean, let Darby go out there, go crazy, tag Sting in when he can go a little bit slower, have Sting do a Stinger Splash, Scorpion Deathlock, you know, all the fun stuff.
You know, jump off the third story, roll down some
He's
steps.
definitely doing that.
Okay, what's the betting line on the Bucks yelling, "I'm sorry, I love you," and doing a double super kick to Sting while Ric Flair cries at ringside?
Oh, it is 1-to-1. It is happening.
That's even money.
I'll bet every dollar I got that's what's gonna be happening.
I'm sorry, I love you. Double
That's
kick to him while
great.
Flair's crying at ringside.
Can I ask the one thing that I do want from Sting's last match? Because I think the Bucks are a fine choice. You know, sorry, we can't bring back Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard or, you know, Lex Luger, right? Those days past. The Young Bucks are fine. It's going to be a fun match. I want Ric Flair to turn on Sting one more time. One more time.
I thought it was going to happen Wednesday night.
I want Flair to do the nut shot from behind. I want Sting to kick the shit out of Flair. Ric Flair and Sting, I'm sorry. They always get together, but Flair always would turn his back on Sting. I need it. I need it one last time for old time's sake.
Flair
the dirtiest player of the game.
By medical personnel on Wednesday night for his 5 seconds in the ring?
I don't know. Probably.
It looked like he did.
Your daughter
Ric
probably
Flair.
chops harder than what that was.
I'm sure it is. We have to suspend disbelief a little bit with Ric Flair's offense and anything at this point. But give me a Ric Flair turn on Sting in Greensboro, North Carolina, or wherever they're, South Carolina. One of those Carolinas. I will mark out for that. If that happens,
one of those Carolinas.
It's one of the two
of them.
Which one is it? South Carolina?
North Carolina.
See, I had a 50-50 shot and I messed it up.
No, according to you, he had a 25% shot because you thought there were 4 Carolinas.
No, I didn't.
Where's that?
East Carolina, West Carolina?
Well, there is East Carolina University. I don't think it's its own state as far as I remember.
So
shit.
Before we wrap up, just real quick, on Saturday, TNA Wrestling's Hard to Kill. It's back. TNA is back. I'm not sure if I'm going to watch or not. If I do, I probably will do a post-show recap podcast. But yeah, I'm pretty excited. You know, they're back. They're announcing a big surprise signing. Not sure who it's going to be. Okada's going to be there, I believe, as a one-off. Ospreay's going to be there as a one-off. I'm pretty pumped. You know, I'm glad TNA's back. All of the Impact stuff is gone on their website and everything now. It's not. It's their streaming app Impact Plus is now TNA Plus. Like, I'm pretty excited it's back. I know we don't talk a lot of TNA because they are on when we record, but yeah, do yourself a favor. You can watch it on Fight, or if you decide to subscribe to TNA Plus, you can do that there and other assorted pay-per-view providers. So go check that out, please.
This is Saturday night, correct?
Saturday night, yeah.
Saturday night. Okay.
New belt designs came out.
All week they've been doing the new belt.
They all look nice,
which is fun. Yeah.
The X Division belt looks very nice.
And I've heard
Excellent.
Saturday night's all right for a fight. So
that's we're going around town. Yeah. All right. So yeah, big fun on Saturday night for the rebirth of TNA. And that'll do it for this week, guys. We will call it a night with this week's show. YouTube.com/That Wrestling Podcast. @ThatWrestlePod for all the social media. and whatamaneuver.net for your That Wrestling Podcast merchandise needs. Whether it's TNA Saturday night, whether it's Collision, or whatever else you're watching, there's only one rule: enjoy wrestling.